Most of writing is editing, but it can be hard to accept that reality. When we begin the edit, our progress seems to slow as we focus on individual sentences and words, and the idea that originally inspired us can come to seem not as new or fresh as it once did. This is where we can feel the frustration of reaching for the end. Instead, we want to explore ways of maintaining the original excitement and finding joy in the process throughout. Now, there are technical tips for this, but the main solution is psychological. We want to adopt identities that will help us, characteristics that it becomes fun to embody in our writing process and in life more generally. The first characteristic is committed to the message, flexible on the means. We want to choose an idea that inspires us so much that we're willing to try multiple different ways of conveying it. Pick an idea so engaging that you're willing to invest time in it, to find multiple ways of exploring it. You should see your editing as an opportunity to form a relationship with the idea that will go beyond this particular story and that is an end in itself rather than just a way of completing this current writing project. There's some great life advice which asks the question, what would you find worthwhile even if it ended in failure? And we should be thinking along those lines when it comes to our writing. If you would like help in finding your theme, see my previous video linked below on what to write about. The second characteristic is playful. You have this idea that you love and you're experimenting with ways of making it more and more expressive. It's like children in the playground. They invent games and they're constantly adding new rules and variations. You can do the same through your writing. Every time you review a passage, you will see that subject in a new light and your understanding will just get deeper. The third characteristic is fluid. You have to expect that problems will arise. That's in the nature of any creative work. The secret is to not get attached to what you've written in the moment. Instead, you should see this as just one way of doing it amongst many. Flow doesn't mean that there are no obstacles. It means that you have that momentum to go under, over, around, whichever way to get to your destination. A good analogy here is Irish music. What happens is that the band will try repeating a particular tune for a while, then the caller will pivot to another tune. They'll repeat that, keep going, see if that one works out, and then they'll move to a third tune. And all the while, whilst they're trying these different options, they have this constant sense of forward momentum and flow. This is something that we can seek to embody in our writing. So if you're curious, I put a link to an Irish tune below to give you that sense. To close out the video, these identities can give us a real sense of liberation and purpose at the same time. Our goal becomes no longer to finish the piece as we originally wrote it, rather it becomes consistency with these identities. And that is something that can apply to our writing, but it can apply just as well to life in general. The question becomes, how can I do justice to this idea? And the mantra is, everything for its own sake. If you enjoyed this video, I have new ones coming out every single week, so please subscribe, like or comment below. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts and see you next time.